Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a Diamond Bel'Veth versus a Diamond Kindred. Now, as we all know, Kindred is a little bit strong. Is that the word we're going to use? A little bit strong. The nerf that Riot gave us, yeah, absolutely useless, as most Kindred lanes kind of knew it would be. Bel'Veth, on the other hand, has been struggling, as I mentioned on the main channel video that I just released. We'll be getting some changes, supposedly, but she is performing quite well when you go the right build. Now, the thing is, the right build changes depending on who you are and how you like to see the game. You know, are you a Rage Blade gamer? Are you someone who prefers a Stride Breaker Spike? Do you maybe think of going 3 damage items and then 4th item Jack Show? There are a few point of views that you can have. In this particular game, we are back with Shiro, the mega flipping Diamond Bel'Veth we looked at a few months ago, who is, you know, keeps yo-yoing. So we're going to see what good habits he has in this game, what bad habits he has in this game, and what we can do about Kindred when we happen to be playing, unfortunately, a Diamond Elo game where it wasn't banned. And I think that's the most important thing here, is it's a little loud on my end. That's the thing, right? You let through certain champions, that's fine, but you have to be able to navigate that matchup well. And now we're talking about this here. You know, I'm having a big talk about Bel'Veth itemization when you guys should be playing the game and watching that rotation. Spicy. I have to let you know that you can get the jungle video courses on Virkayu.gg for a 95% discount with the new membership program. Get access to the courses you need to achieve your goals by the end of Split 1 and for all of Split 2. Not only that, I'm also including a private Discord with this so that you can come and join me, get access to free coaching, free champion infographics, weekly lectures and Q&As, as well as a free video every week only released within the Virkayu.gg Jungle Club Discord. If you want to buy the courses standalone, you of course can still do that, along with a free jungle improvement PDF, the video courses, plus full access to the Discord. Virkayu.gg is even more a jungler's learning paradise. Click the link below to climb faster than Warwick chasing a 1 HP Jinx across the map. We like this. We're doing the red side, right? And whatever combination, doesn't really matter. The Kindred does the red side. The Kindred sees mid lane is gankable because Akshan will pressure, push, and have prio. The Bel'Veth also sees some trading on the top side, knowing that the Kindred could just as easily vertical gank, could just as easily gank and cut off, could just as easily full clear. So what the Bel'Veth does is ensure that we get this Jax a little bit ahead. Very, very good decision. Now we take the safety route of going back. This is where we're mixed, because we know the Kindred did this, rotated to this and got the kill. Yeah. What should we have done after the top lane gank? Go back to base. You're done. You're not going to invade the Kindred now that Akshan's been ganked, right? You can trail a little bit to see, hey, maybe I can help him, but once it's clear he's dead, press the base button. You're not going to invade this sucker right here. This guy's TP back to lane. Your Jax is going back to base, go down, gank the bottom lane if possible. This is, you know, a 3-kill Ezreal, which is a bit of a problem. So maybe if we can nip this in the bud now, even though he's going back to base now, can we do something, right? Is there anything we can do at all to help offset this lead the bottom lane has while Kindred's on the top side? I don't like the idea of kind of wasting our time scrolling, basically doom scrolling in jungle terms, across the map to go and do these camps when we could have gone back to base and at least bought a few components, which helps in these micro 1v1s, you know? By that I mean the 1v1s you might have over the scuttle and things like this. You could have spent the time going back to base. So Kindred gets the RNG, goes top side here, obviously. We are going to go ahead and take this one. No need to smite it, there's no contest, no stress. We could have snacked it away and then smited something else. But again, much of a muchness in this particular case. Because we know the Kindred's on the top side taking this, we should actually leave this alone, right? Because the mark wasn't spawned, what we want to do is actually force the Kindred to take this, which they will, to repeat gank this, which they might do, or to go back to base and try and get this one when that mark spawns again in 45 seconds. So what we can do is effectively at least do the gromp, watch this mark disappear. It will disappear after 15 seconds. So once Kindred's taken it, you get 15 seconds, then it will go away. Now you get 30 seconds to the next mark. So you can time when it's going to go onto this one, right? And that's exactly what you want to do, especially as a Snowball and Kindred will get the mark on the Gromp and on the Raptors and things like that. You want to control that timer in your mind. So there was no real reason to take it that quickly. Yeah, we could have not done that. Done some other camps and maybe thought about doing something else. And then, of course, denied that spawn a little bit quicker. Now, we do want to go ahead and affect bottom lane, but we know Kindred at this stage is most likely going to be resetting coming down. And if they don't, that's unfortunate, because Soraka has no sums, so we really needed to hit that W for the karma chain. But I do like what we're doing anyway. What's the cooldown here on this now? We got 2 seconds left. Why not the cooldown, but the cooldown on the timer. We're going to get the passive proc plus the E. Beautifully done. Nicely done. Because remember, this at 10.11 seconds, 10.11, at 10.91, almost 11 seconds, it's not something you want to miss. See, now, right, you know the Kindred at this stage should have reset. Let's have a look here. Yes. But we know that the Kindred has now done this into this and then gone back to base. Slow. Didn't really need to worry about the wolves, but did. And now lost tempo bottom lane, so good job to the Bel'Veth. If this mark was now available, we could actually instigate a little bit of a fight, a numbers advantage here with the Akshan, and maybe grab a kill as well. You follow? So that's not, you know, hopefully you understand what I mean by this. Because now our camps will be down too, right? The wolves, the Gromp, the blue, they're all taken care of, we're all happy. This respawn now will come sooner with more golden experience, and now it's going to be distorted with the wolves. So the Bel'Veth's going to go back to base, go do whatever she wants to do, come back to the bottom side, and wolves will spawn by themselves on a perfect sequence. Right? And that will cost you a little bit of golden experience here and there, but when you're diamond, you want master tier, every little fraction is huge. Every little fraction is what you need to get leads. Now, we know Kindred's going to show up in the bottom lane here, so the bottom lane should shove their asses back to base and take that 1,000 cash money gold that she has. We probably could have helped them push here, something to talk about. You know, we get the shutdown, we kill the Ezreal. You know, can we take a plate to give them some gold offset? I understand if you're getting pinged off. I didn't pay too much attention to the mini wave here. Most likely in game you should, especially if they want to shove and reset, because if the Kai'Sa gets the shutdown, right, and you can shove and take a plate with them, then she can go back to base and come back to lane with huge catch-up itemization. And so that's something to definitely think about. Okay, I just went and had a look again. Yeah, I think I probably would have helped them shove, try to get a plate if possible, and then they can retreat. We can take the Scuttle Crab and, you know, it's the same kind of thing, just a little better for us, a little better for them. The timing is nicer for them because now Ezreal shoved this wave. We're getting denied because of it. Yes, we get the cannon. He's going to get a plate here. So, you know, you're seeing that little push and pull balance. We'll take this away to deny from the Kindred. The Kindred in this particular point says, I'm going to crouch Raptors. 99% Bel'Veth goes to the top side, so I'm going to try and sneak this dragon away. Bel'Veth sees this with good sequencing and says, hey, 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 Yogi, and then decides to move on down and said, this is her picnic basket. And Akshan's going to miss his boomerang, but still gets a kill anyway. And we have here the Kali dashing, McDashing everywhere. Bel'Veth is dead as well. This is a bit chaotic. Let's actually watch it a little bit slower here. We have the Karma flashing into the Bel'Veth to escape. The Bel'Veth cues this direction instead of down towards killing the Soraka. So immediately should have gone down, killed the Soraka using that Isak, okay? It also gives us damage reduction here as we are exhausted. Now dashes back towards the Soraka, tries to E. Soraka gets just out of range of that because of our initial E dash. Akshan will get that kill here with an auto attack. And you're seeing here now the Ezreal leave this Isak zone. Akali's in it. We're already low HP. We're going to queue the other direction. You know, Karma's already out of the fight. Yeah, I feel like if we kill Soraka a little bit sooner and then we can turn the fight, that's something we can talk about. But this kind of assessment, should we take the fight? Should we not take the fight? I can't help you answer that with any sort of categorical factual statement that says yes, 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 no, no, no. You've got to assess in your mind what you can do on your champion in this moment, in this matchup, for the elo you're playing. Now, if I'm playing Bel'Veth here, and I see this, you know, do we want to fight this? I think it would be nice to kind of fight and maybe try and do something, but the most important thing is, do we win the 4v4 at this particular stage? You know, I don't think I would not fight that on my champions, whatever champion I was playing, but I would do it a lot more cautiously. Bel'Veth doesn't have that luxury. You kind of got to go in a little bit, but you've got to play perfectly, you know? So, depending on what champion you play in that situation, it will kind of dictate how much you commit to that. Because if I'm going to commit a little bit more softly, just to see, like, can we actually win this fight? And when it's clear we cannot, I can still leave and take my camps, right? I want to be able to leave and take my camps. Why? Because I know the Gromp's going to respawn with the Kindred mark, because I took the Raptors. So Kindred's not going to try and sneak this away. No, that was disciplined. So now the Kindred, let's talk about that. Let's unpack it quickly. The Kindred finishes this sucker off here, okay, and thinks, okay, look, I've got it. I would love to go and take this mark, but of course, when we think about it rationally, why would Bel'Veth go to the red when there's two camps on the bottom side here, right? The Kindred is basically saying, look, the Bel'Veth came from the top side. There's no camps other than the red. She must come down to the bottom side with the Karma for the mark. I best go back to base. So actually, a much better decision in terms of caution by the Kindred, but at the same time, she's going to see, or they're going to see the Bel'Veth on the top side and be like, oh, I could have, but no, you couldn't have, because the Karma would show up and just shove you off and kill you. The Bel'Veth was basically trying to, I think, guarantee mind game here in her mind. Look, if I leave the mark up, Kindred will probably go for it after the dragon. That allows me time to take my red, gank the top lane, and counter jungle on the top side, which gives me Herald fallback, which allows me, of course, to get the super true form, the longer one, the more powerful one, the fishy one. And I think that's an interesting mindset to have. And it does showcase to you, in both situations, that you don't truly know what the enemy jungler is going to do, especially in this elo, once you start to pick up good knowledge of the game. And you have to, like we see this counter jungling here, which is better than the Nocturne from Monday. You kind of see the shift as we decided to repeat gank the Jax instead of worrying about bottom lane, right? This shift of mind games, so what the Kindred's going to do, how can I counter it? And sometimes they just mind game themselves. But it's not wrong in any way, right? You don't want to results base it. Oh, look, I went back to base, Bel'Veth showed top lane, I'm a dummy. No. It was logical to assume the Bel'Veth would come to the side with two camps to prevent you getting the mark, and then try and gank bottom lane again to snowball the Kai'Sa, because that's the meta we're in, that's what people are told to do. But as I explained in the video on the main channel yesterday, I had a game where I spam ganked a Malphite top lane 3-4 times to destroy an Irelia, and take away a whole side of the map from a Karthus, who was now so focused on counter jungling me, that I was able to get these free ganks and get this really fed Malphite, and we could just 2v8 the game. So there's not always a black and white, hey, you should gank bot lane, you should gank top lane. The Bel'Veth here says, look, if I take this, give this, I can kill this and counter jungle this, gank this again, and then take this, that's good for me. So I'm willing to give the Kindred that other stuff. And if Kindred does decide to go for those things, then we'll see. Kindred actually goes for the red, now decides to kind of skip all other camps, skip all other counter jungling. This pathing you cannot account for. If you are the Bel'Veth here, you don't know why Kindred's acting like this. You just don't know. The Kindred literally was going from red to blue for some particular reason, and now they're out of position completely. Jax is going to go in for the counter-strike here, get that stun. Hopefully, we get the kill, which we do. Ult. I'm okay with that. You use your ult, you're dead anyway, right? So just save your ult. It's a big cooldown. Don't waste it. But like, what was this pathing from Kindred? We're leaving base here with a conservative decision. We see the Bel'Veth top lane go down. We know they're going to counter jungle us now, so why don't we just go and steal this mark quickly, steal this counter jungling quickly, try another gank in the mid lane because Akshan's perma pushing, get that Akali more fed. Can we dive the bottom lane perhaps with our ultimate? Give this fish to the Bel'Veth, right? That's what the Kindred should have done. But one lapse of good pathing from the Kindred, going from red all the way up to the blue buff for no particular reason, costs are big, and that's why Bel'Veth is now able to snowball this top laner even further. And as all bear mains know, a fed Jax versus a bear is not fun. Not at all. Horrible champion when fed if you're Volibear. We can just go over the wall here. I think it's neck this up. We should definitely go ahead and do this, yeah. I mean, this is free. There's no reason at all for Kindred to go topside. Lost a Grump, got pushed off, no top laner, no prio. Lost a blue buff, only a wolf camp. Want to contest it with Akshan Perma Prio? No, right? Go to the other side and take this, but now the Kindred's death costs them. They should still catch up a little bit just because. Come on there. Auto attack champions only, please. We've all been there. This is what the Kindred should have done 60 seconds ago. Now the Bel'Veth gets a free Herald for the 60-second adventure, and didn't die, and got more kills, and got more camps, was the Kindred spent 30, 40 seconds, a minute doing absolutely nothing. And that's what costs you big time in the elo. So the pathing here from the Bel'Veth might seem silly, going for the red and skipping out on the walls on the ground, but if you think 2, 3, 4 moves ahead, you're like, oh, now it makes sense because I'm baiting the Kindred in with their own minigame. That's exactly what you want to do. This is the ultimate flow of decision matrix for Diamond, in that there sometimes isn't one. It's just about guessing and double guessing. So now we're going to go for this counter jungling because we have a roaming support. So typically you might think, oh look, I better do Krugs, Raptors, denied. Maybe I can go use the Herald mid lane, because Kindred's taking all of this. Maybe they fall back now and try and defend. Who knows what the Kindred's going to do at this stage. All I know is the Kindred's taking this. If the Kindred decides to take this and fall back to this, I know that this is free real estate. So I don't necessarily need to do my camps first, but I will take the Raptor camp away just to deny that mark. And then what I'm going to do is go straight into the jungle here, counter jungling, fisting, diving, volley, snowballing the top side. But if I was not anticipating to do that, or didn't want to do that because I didn't know where the Kindred was, and my karma randomly shows up to roam with me, go with her. Go do things with your karma. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean, especially seeing as she's in true form. This is it, right? Your support might not have the best robes, might be level 5 or 10 minutes, might be 0-3-2, but if we have a numbers advantage, use it, because that's all that matters in this game. Numbers advantage in different moments. and how we can leverage that into even more gold advantages. And in Diamond, that's the biggest thing you can learn. So this particular stage, we ward deep, knowing the Kindred's going to flow to the top side after taking our blue buff. We see the Volibear underneath his turret. Say, yo, what's up, my guy? Waiting for that minion wave to crash. Now it's going to activate the Herald, I guess. But I mean, that was an expected turn. I don't think anyone was questioning whether that was going to happen. And now this Herald is largely wasted completely. We didn't really need it. We could have killed the bear, hit the turret, and then maybe use the Herald somewhere else, like maybe mid lane, but, you know. Ooh. Oh. We knew that was up, and now Kali's rotating to the top side. We'll get a little charge here. Not the best Herald. I understand the idea, but Jax is whacking this already with his lamppost. You know, it's a good dive to do. He hit it away, sure, and then ditch, take some more stuff, rotate to the mid lane as Akali rotates to defend, cut in, now use it here with the Akshan. Shove this sucker out. Now you, Akshan Okama, rotate this direction and fist the bottom lane. Open game, you win. So that kind of aggressive snowball, maybe I should talk about the champions that can do that. Well, Bel'Veth can do that. I don't think she's as a fearful jungler today as she used to be before Kraken's nerf. Still a very strong snowballing champion, obviously, but I don't think people feel like, oh, look, it's unwinnable. That's a different set of champions. Does Karma support int roll? She is living up to her name. I think we can agree on this one. Although she gets a free respawn because good design champion. Thank you, Riot. That's a great feature. We all love it, don't we? This is the stuff. This is the stuff. What happened here? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, as expected. So, hopefully you can see the Bel'Veth here activating this Herald. Didn't really need to, could get the kill, hit this down. Move through here as Akali rotates from the shove. You get this activated, you at least get a few more plates here. Akali probably rotates back over, and then you go and good squad bottom lane, shove the sucker out, everyone goes back to base, comes straight out of base, goes straight to the dragon. Similar situation again, but I think what we're noticing, if you look at this game from the Platinum game yesterday, is that where sometimes Platinum's operated like a 60% return, Diamonds can very often operate at like a 75, 80% return. Now, if you imagine Challenger junglers at a 100% return as often as possible, that's the difference, right? The punishing of mistakes, taking of what's given, what's available that I can absolutely vacuum up completely. And then you go down to like Bronze and Silver, you're looking like 20, 30% return, right? And sometimes even zero, because they just don't get anything, but that's rarely the case. Because normally you get something, like even by accident you get something, like writing your name and getting marks for it on a test. Although sometimes the laners I play with probably would not even get those bonus marks, because they wouldn't be able to write their own names. They would write, you know, ADC or something like that instead. Honestly, these people. Or they would think that's the first 3 letters of the alphabet. Most likely that as well. So we take the dragon here, that's great, we get another true form extension, and we have the Jax going straight in, we get this rock ultimate again. We're trying to get this W here from the, there you go, from the Bel'Veth. Good patience, nice true damage, and we can take the Krugs away as well. This wave is now needing to be pushed in, so we should probably have someone go do that while we take this. We hang at the back of the pit, which is good. Kali goes in and kills the Karma. Now we're going to flash in here and try and get the Q onto the Akshan, which we do and get the kill, but return kill by the Yaks. Bel'Veth shows up here again, activates some fishies. Can we get the Q into the W? Yes, we can. Auto attack, auto attack, auto attack. Get your passive, get your E-Sucky, tank a bit of the tower damage. Jax goes in, gets the bonky, and what great abilities. bonky, and dashy. There you go. Get a bit of healing here. Nicely done. So, was this the maximum return for the lead we had with the decision making we made? No. Was it pretty damn close? Yes. Did everything we want to happen, and we get fed from it? Also, yes. 417, a bit more supportive, as his KDA usually is, actually. But, you know, that's absolutely fine. That's fine. You don't look at the KDA, just hide it. As you can see, I maximize. Yeah, it's like a magnifying. I zoom it up a bit. You know, that's fine. Just play the game. Even if you're playing a Rek'Sai, and I remember in Season 9, you know, doing this high elo run, back when, you know, if you had, like, Master, we didn't have Grandmaster, but, like, if you had Master, oh, we did. No. Did we? I don't remember. Season 8, Season 9, whatever. You know, we're looking at this Master MMR, right? And Challenger MMR. Even if you had good value MMR in Diamond 1, you would get +7, +8, +9, like -22, -28, some people were getting at that point. And you just had to chain together so many victories. And essentially what that did was make you win con obsessed. didn't matter who you were playing. And that season, I was using Rek'Sai, Warwick, and Ornn as the top 3. Yes, Ornn. But mostly, like, no one was playing Warwick at that level. And while my Rek'Sai was doing fine, I ended up playing so much WinCon. Way more than you would think for a Rek'Sai, right? I would have similar games like 4-1-7, and then just control the map, control the macro, and make sure we won the game before my champion got outlived. But in the few games when we couldn't, then the Warwick became a better option, but for the same reason. You would just do what was necessary to get yourself fed, deny the enemy jungler, have yourself a lead over them, and get 1 or 2 laners that you could play around, you know, fused up together so that you could do this roaming around the map. And I think when you learn that, you learn so much more about the game. And if you focus on those things here, right, just the map play, not looking at KDAs. Okay, how do I shut down Kindred? Where am I going next? What Kindred's going to do? What can I do for the next 2-3 moves? What can I do afterwards? Take top lane tower, activate Herald mid lane, roam Goon Squad bottom lane, take the next dragon. You're thinking like that. That really translates your game to master level, right? And of course, mechanically, you know, that is where we do have some downsides when you look at your platinums and your diamonds versus your master plus. Mechanics do matter. You know, you can make the best decisions in the world, but if you can't make the right mechanical play on the engage, you will be doomed, which is exactly what I was saying. If I talk about my yesteryear's gaming, you know, if I made the flashing gates in Rek'Sai and Warwick and it was the wrong target, or I was meant to peel and I didn't and we lost, that's on me, right? And that's mechanics, even if the decision was good. So, as always, in this ELO, do pay attention to those things, and don't let the result make you feel like it was a bad decision. Because if you make the right play with a bad mechanical output, then you can say, look, if I hit my spells there, we win. Great, that's all you need to know. Work on your mechanics, but keep that decision-making consistent. But this is what we want to do, right? Play the map smoothly. That was a little bit unfortunate. We didn't get more from that. Jax is not over-pushing the bot lane. Still kills Kindred. Should die to the Akali. Does die to the Akali. We can deny this mark as well. Yeah, no, take the stuff. Take the stuff. Take the stuff. There's nothing. What are you waiting for? Kai'Sa's top lane. Right? Kai'Sa's top lane. We have Karma here with Akshan. We'll go back to base. Someone should think about this, but they won't once Kai'Sa's gone. We can still burn this really quickly before anyone shows up, which we do. Get this. There we go. Karma, why are you taking so much free damage? Oof, 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 oof. Ezreal is such a disgusting champion. It's amazing that most people are not better at that champion. Now, it's a difficult champion to, like, totally maximize, which is why we usually complain when we have bad Ezreals on our team or if they're lane with bad Ezreals, but somehow, when they're fed, doesn't seem to matter. They still do so much free damage. People kind of just stand still and take it. Don't know why. This Karma is a bit abysmal, but I still like having her on my team because I know she can shield me, she can speed me up, she has a tether. I just like the kit, right? A bad Karma is still going to be useful. Kindred shows up for this Maki. We're going to queue for the W, miss it, and now we need to back up because Fog of War Gap. This Soraka, we have the... this is Soraka, the Jax jumps toward. Kai'Sa hits it, doesn't go in. Amazing restraint. Volibear's overcommitting. Can we go ahead and kill him? That's the question. That's what we want to know. And in the meantime, we have a full-on engage. As that happens, Jax is going to do the work here. And this is, I think, where something interesting happens in these kinds of games. So let's just see this through. Let's see this through. There we go, the Isaki-saki. Alright, so there's two schools of thought here. The fact that there was no real wave as we were moving is the reason for the Bel'Veth moving up. Like, oh, you know, like, we have to wait for this one. They're a bit tied up. Like, do we just hang around or should I go do some split pushing, stop the Volibear, get the kill? I'm okay with this, right? Waiting for the next wave and chilling a little bit. But Jax just goes straight in. And this is where you kind of wish you stuck with him. But they have Kindred ult, they have the Akali, the Soraka, the Fed Ezreal. You know, I don't really want to go too deep here against this comp and lose lives. You know, I'd much rather wait and siege a little bit while we kill the Volibear, which will allow us to create a pressure point here. While we create a pressure point here, we'll get this turret most likely. They will send someone over, we can cut in, and now we can take the fight, right? You want the numbers advantage, and when you're 4v4, 5v5, 3v3, you don't have it, I kind of like to look for a pressure release, so we can actually get that numbers advantage versus just straight up trying to force it, which is important when you're playing your snowballing junglers or your assassins, because the numbers advantage allows you to do a lot more otherwise. Ezreal now super fed. We don't really lose anything from the blue team's perspective here, obviously. They're all dead. Ezreal's to mid lane, that's great. Akali is down on the bottom side as well, so we'll get this turret regardless, which is great. We can take the Grump here, which is lovely. Good greed for the blue, choose not to, go for the red. And now we have a lot in pocket 2.2, so the Downside of staying here is obviously we have a lot in pocket, but if they think we're going to go to the Baron, set the trap, set the trap, set the trap, get the true form, jump over the wall. Oh, the Isaki does it. There we go. Nicely done. Still prefer the Fiddle Suck, mostly because his head explodes, and it sounds like me when I'm having an asthma attack, which is always fun. The sound, not the asthma attack. That's not fun. Never is. Over the Bel'Veth Suck, which is just like knuckling down. What else sucks in this game? Besides Shyvana. That champion should have got the rework over the Skarner. But yeah, Bel'Veth, Fiddlesticks. I think he's upset, but also Akshan overcommits and dies while we get the Baron, which is sad. We do get the truest of true forms, which is... yes. Now, because Akshan is dead, waiting for the Kai'Sa, this is solid jungling though, right? The KDA here is good, the KP is good, the flow has been solid, you know, the decision making has been 90% on point. Little waffles here and there, mechanical otherwise, but like this is good stuff. So consistently, if you can do this, you'll be fine, right? Which is what we talk about in the Diamond course. But we also talk about in the Diamond course so many things for different ways of playing the game, from farming, ganking, aggressive, invading, defending versus invading, like how to play as and defend against all jungle variations, because that's the nut you got to crack in the Zelo. Sure, you can play one style and get master tier, no stress, right? But it's not as easy as playing the one style and getting diamond, which is easy in comparison. So by no stress, I mean if you put in enough game volume and execute that playstyle perfectly with the right mechanics, yes. But ideally, what you want to start to get better at, if you want master tier with a little less struggle, is playing at least 2 to 3 different kinds of styles of jungling. But most importantly, how to counter every style with whatever style you play, right? And that's the basis for which I make Diamond to Master tier content, which is why you see so many promos of me kind of saying, hey, look at this, when people give me feedback about their rank climb, that's why, because I really stress that from silver onward. And all my content on this channel too, you see me, I don't talk about just farm it up, guys, farm it up, buy some items, get some gold, 2% KP, you'll win, Diana, ha! I don't do that. I try and teach from newbie to advanced how to become a diverse jungler, balanced, you know? Looking at map cadence and tempo and jungle versatility and shutting down the enemy jungler. And then, of course, snowballing victory at 23 minutes like this, using avoid fishes. This is exactly what you want to do in these cases. You've got a 1-3-1. The Jax is giga-fed. We're giga-fed. Our 3-man stack can handle this. We've got a Karma plus an Akshan 2 ADCs. Boom, there you go. Kindred out of the game, 4-6-6. Denied. Well, denied by the Bel'Veth and also denied by themselves, I think. They just FF. We were going to win anyway. Trust me. But this was a nice game. 10k gold lead, methodical. Good. Like, this is good diamond jungling, right? If you do this consistently enough and fix and tweak a few things, master tier is yours. But consistency. It is the worst word when talking about climbing. But it's true. And sometimes on this channel, we deconstruct bad players and say, woof. Sometimes we look at good players and go, keep it up, bro. And that's what we say here. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget Virkayu.gg for your courses. You can get them up front or you can join and get them through the membership program as you wish. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.